Welcome back. I'm Dr. Frank Springab, the co-developer of Morphogenic Field Technique, and we're here today to talk about our second video, which is the red kit. Now, yesterday we discussed the morphogenic field and how we use the field to gather information from the body about developing nutritional and herbal protocols that expand and balance the field. The premise being that a large and balanced energy field of the body moves people toward health, where a small or distorted energy field will block people from healing. So our subject today will be the red kit. So yesterday we talked about the red, white, and blue kit. This is our cell energies. This is our toxemia and immune kit. And then this is our foundations kit. So the subject of this video is our red kit, the foundations kit. So as I described yesterday, in this kit we have the energy of about 50 different standard process and meta herb supplements, and we have them color coded so you can see which are the standard process supplements in green and which are the meta herb supplements in purple. And then the white kits, these are the white vials here, these are analytical, so they tell you something about the body. So there's a lot of information you can draw just from this one kit. Now, the purpose of this kit was to get deeper into foundational healing before we moved into the phase of clinical healing, which comes with the white and blue kit. So the foundation means that your cells have everything they need to heal. So we start with hydration. Hydration is the first thing. If you are dehydrated, your healing ability is not going to work well. Phase 2 is digestion. The 3 phases of digestion are very important because, as I learned from Jerry Linenkall, my standard process distributor, you not only are what you eat, but you also are what you can digest, absorb, and assimilate. So we always keep this in mind when we are giving people nutrition. Can they actually digest the nutrition we're giving them? So the first phase is digestion, and here's our digestion one, stomach digestion. Down here we have a small intestine, pancreas digestion with the enzymes. We have liver, gallbladder digestion here, the 3 phases of digestion. Then we move through and we check for fatty acid balance. We check for your ability to handle sugar, and we check for minerals. Do you have the right organic minerals? So everything you need to create a new healthy cell. We call this our cellular construction project. The one thing you have to remember is if you're building a cell, you want it to be in a nice, clean environment. So down here at the bottom of the red kit, we have what we call autotoxemia. In other words, is the environment of the extracellular matrix and the intracellular matrix appropriate for growing good, healthy cells? So we want to make sure that's covered before we get into the clinical aspects. Now, this is so important today because of the food that we're eating. We are living in the era of the green revolution, and we live in the era now of genetic engineering. And this has gotten to be a huge problem for the health of the American public because our food does not look like food to the human body. So what we want to do is make sure the body has good organic food that it recognizes and can put to use, properly digested, create the building blocks to build the next cell. So in the foundations kit, this is what we assure before we move into clinical. The reason this is so important is because I was raised in nutritional healing through doing muscle testing that focused on clinical nutrition without addressing foundations. And this became a problem because we would go down what we call rabbit holes. You would start doing clinical nutrition and the body would soon let you know that you need to switch courses because going strictly clinical would not get you where you wanted to go. So when we found the field testing, we decided, well, we need to get foundational first, and that was the purpose of doing this. So we have a great resource in Standard Process. They have got a huge organic farm. They've been using it for decades. They know how to do this. They've got the standard process, and the process is where the nutrients stay with the food as they turn it into supplements that the body can be quickly utilized in your therapy. So We don't worry about that. We trust Standard Process. We know they've been around for decades. We know they'll continue to be around for decades. They're a family-owned company and they're committed to these concepts. So one of the things we do with our technique is we have a certification program, but we want people not to just understand the technique. We also want them to understand the culture and the heritage of Standard Process and their founder, Royal Lee, and the genius of Royal Lee in creating supplements and protomorphogens that we can use to help our patients stay healthy. The reason the supplements that we test for in the Foundations kit come from Standard Process is because Standard Process has a rich history of creating supplements that are known to be beneficial to the body, and in our work, we're interested in a large balanced field. We can guarantee a large balanced field using these trusted supplements. Royal Lee began Standard Process back in 1929 with the creation of a supplement called Catalin, which was many foods concentrated down into one supplement. Now, these are foods that we just don't consume anymore. It's unfortunate, but we've gone from eating approximately 300 different types of food down to eating about 20. And many of the foods we eat are really just pork, beef, fed corn, soy. We have this pattern of eating things that are just the same. So it's a monoculture now of food rather than a diverse food culture, which humans have always had. So we can trust Standard Process, we trust the supplements, and that's why these are the ones that are contained in our kit. If you look back at the history of food over the last 150 years, it's just gotten from bad to worse, to where we went from eating totally natural food that was organic to now just eating mostly processed food in our diet. So it began back in the 1870s, 1880s, where they started adding preservatives to food so they could take it across state lines without it going bad. Then they took and hydrogenated the fats so they wouldn't go rancid, and then they started refining the foods. They took out the nutrition in the foods and replaced it. They called it fortified foods with synthetic. So many of the synthetic vitamins we're consuming nowadays just come from China. They're chemicals that come from China and they're sold at drugstores. And that isn't the way the body was meant to get its nutrition. So we need to get the patients to understand this. And once the patients understand it, they will demand more and better food, as is happening today. So we went to more and more hydrogenated food, more preserved food, more TV dinners, more junk food. Now they're doing genetically modified foods, and even Royal Lee probably never imagined a world where everybody's consuming genetically modified foods, which just do not look like food to the body. We'll talk more about that in our fourth film when we talk about the second page of the blue kit. So in our next video, we'll be talking more about our white kit next. That is our cell energy kit. It's a fascinating thing. We're very proud of it. We have the energy of 190 different types of cells in this kit. And what you can do with it is beyond amazing. So tomorrow morning, take a look in your inbox and watch our next video. So again, thank you for watching.